Arapahoe Basin is a ski resort located in Summit County, Colorado. The resort is 68 miles west of Denver, 5 miles east of Keystone, and 20 miles from Breckenridge. Arapahoe Basin is divided into several sections. The Black Mountain section served by a high-speed quad, the Molly Hogan beginner section served by a fixed-grip quad, the Lenawee Bowl served by a high-speed 6, the Pallavicini Expert section served by a fixed-grip double, the Beavers Bowl served by another fixed-grip quad, and the Montezuma Bowl on the backside served by a third fixed-grip quad. As of 2022, Arapahoe Basin operates a modern, all-Leitner Palma lift fleet with some slow and fast lifts, plus one rope tow connecting the top of Lenawee to the top of Zuma. Without further ado,
this is every lift at Arapahoe Basin ranked.
Starting with number 7, we have the Lazy J Tow. This rope tow was built in 2017 to connect the tops of Lenawee and Zuma, but the line is so short and flat that you can easily skate your way to Zuma. This lift is insignificant in the lineup, so it naturally is coming in last place. Number 6 is the Molly Hogan lift. Now we're getting into the chairlifts. Molly Hogan is the main beginner chairlift at A-Bay, and it's a solid one. Previously, a Yan double ran in this alignment, and I'm sure it wasn't the most ideal beginner lift. That changed in 2020 when a Leitner Palma fixed grip quad came in. This quad chair was a great choice because these chairs are comfortable, and they picked a slow speed to make loading and unloading easier for beginners. However, it is the least important chairlift in the lineup, and it's basically in its own little world, but A-Bay made the right choice for the beginner experience. Black Mountain Express is taking the number 5 spot on this list. Since 2010, this detachable quad has been the first lift to open at A-Bay for the season, and I'd say it's the most significant lift at the resort because of this. However, just because it's the most important lift doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. Because it's at the front of the resort, a lot of the guests will go straight to it first, so it does cause some long lines. On the plus side, the lines move relatively fast as the lift doesn't slow down or stop often. Additionally, there are also some below tree line advanced runs for those that get overwhelmed with high alpine altitude, so this lift has a mix of almost every difficulty. Number 4 goes to the Zuma lift. The Montezuma Bowl expansion opened in 2007 with a quad chair and has a series of blue high alpine cruisers, which are really fun. Towards the bottom of the lift are more difficult glades, and you have to be careful when you're going through the trees. I personally don't mind the 10-minute ride up because you'll be resting your legs for a good chunk of time after burning calories in the glades. The one thing I'm not a huge fan of is that it sometimes gets put on wind hold when it gets windy, so that means only the front side will be running. Besides that, I really enjoy the terrain, and there's nothing like that feeling of racing to the bottom. At number 3, we have the Beavers lift. This quad chair was added in 2018 to bring lift service to the Beavers expansion, which opened a year prior. The expansion and the steep gullies expanded the resort by 50% at the time. There are 36 runs that feature rolling intermediate groomers, steep chutes, open bowls, and glades. Like Zuma, I'm glad this isn't a high-speed lift because it gives me more time to rest my legs after a leg workout through the cruisers and the glades. While I do enjoy the open cruisers on Zuma, I feel that the Beavers terrain has a bit more to offer, which is why I'm giving this lift a slight edge. Lenawee Express is taking second place. This was A-Basin's second high-speed lift, installed in 2022. The lift is now the highest 6-person chair in Colorado, topping out at 12,456 feet. Sorry, Kensho Super Chair. Anyway, this is one of the 2 bowl areas on the front side, and this is by far one of the most open bowls I've ever skied. Almost the whole lift is above the tree line, and the views are amazing. To the lookers left of this lift are some really steep cliffs that require a hike to get to. Unlike Beavers and Zuma, I'm glad this lift got the high-speed treatment because it makes lapping the terrain easier, especially considering most of the runs are intermediate cruisers. Also, my legs don't get that tired after skiing those runs, so the long ride time the previous lift had isn't necessary. It's fun to just race your way down the high alpine groomers, but there's one special gem in the resort that we have yet to talk about. Finally, our first place gold medalist is the famous Pallavicini double chair. This is A-Bay's legendary frontside expert terrain pod. They kept the chairlift a double when they replaced the old lift in 2020 to maintain character for that terrain pod, and I love when ski resorts go out of their way to keep the experience the same in certain expert terrain pods. It makes you feel like you're not rushing to get to the top. The slow ride up rests your legs and adds to the charm. This pod has by far the most difficult trails in the basin, with steep pitches, mogul runs, gullies, and some hikes. There's a reason why this area is known as the center of the universe. Combined with the technical terrain and relaxing lift ride, and the fact that A-Bay purposely kept the lift as a double when they replaced it, A-Bay, without a doubt, has a winner on their hands. Arapahoe Basin is by far one of the best ski resorts I've ever been to, but I consider it a day trip destination as there's no on-site lodging. It's also 2 hours away from CSU, where I'm at school, so it's relatively easy for me to explore the terrain in a full day. If you're looking for a destination resort nearby, Keystone's your best bet. If you only have the Icon Pass, Copper's the closest one. There are several ski resorts in Summit County, so it's hard to pick a wrong choice, but Arapahoe Basin has some of the best snow in the Colorado Rockies. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for weekly quizzes every Friday. Until next time.